It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories, available for delivery. Dan, what a weekend. A 16 over a 1, a 15 over a 2, a shirtless Eric Musselman, and the dream matchup of Mick Cronin and Eric Musselman still very much alive. And Dan, just like that, March is back.
You promised us that we have a March.
Oh, do we have a March? My throat's having a March.
Fairleigh Dickinson, it's the biggest upset in the history of that sport, correct?
Quite a run.
Yeah. Do it against Merrimack. Seriously, unfairly Dickinson. Speaking of alive, Rick Pitino isn't. A 13 seed upsetting a 4 is no longer exciting.
This is what
March is in trouble.
This is what Whittingham was saying. Whittingham is saying he
said it was back.
Yeah,
but
now it's in trouble.
He did just say it was back, and
damn you.
And it was the highest televised ratings like the sport has ever had as well. Correct.
Yeah.
But Whittingham was saying he too is bored now by the upset.
Well, like Furman, Virginia, albeit like the point spread was narrow. A lot of people had Furman pegged as an upset win, but I've seen the ending of that game.
No, you
a
have
million
not.
times.
Not-
Yes,
That was
I
such a
have.
good game, Whitty. What are you talking about?
Whittingham, you haven't seen the ending of that game where the guy just panics and hand grenade lobs a skyhook to the middle of the court.
I have like general basketball incompetence resulting in the other team that's pulling off the upset hitting an incredibly clean shot. Like I've seen
That's
that
the
before.
whole point, though, Whitty. Like the
No.
whole point we're doing this is because the big white guy gets in the middle of the court, like, oh shit, what do I do?
No.
Passes it to the guy and he hits a 3 in the game.
But
It's
Tony,
real.
when you have 2 years of a 16 beating a 1, you have Princeton in the Sweet 16. A 13 beating a 4 is no longer exciting.
Paladins, though.
The
I
worst
know.
in that Arizona thing, or whenever that happens to any team, is the one guy on that, like, on the Arizona team that doesn't have anything to do with that play, and he's just kind of following along, like, okay, crazy pass.
Virginia.
I'm sorry, not Arizona. They lost somewhere else.
Yeah.
Virginia, a crazy pass to half court. He's like, I'm still okay. No three. Okay, pass, cover that guy. You see this guy, and then
Such
the
a
ball
bad
goes up,
feeling.
and it's always the hands on the head.
Such
There's
a
always
bad
one
feeling.
guy on the court
Surrender
who just
Cobra.
has this moment of, oh
Yeah.
no, the whole season's over, just like that. Like, oh, it just, you feel for that. I love
I hate
that
those
moment.
moments. No, but I hate him because you know that kid's going to think about that moment every day for the rest of his life. Every day.
Oh, man.
Stuck with it.
And then some a-hole is going to go on his radio show and say it wasn't even an exciting game.
No, it is an undoubtedly exciting game. I'm just saying, like, the formula of underdog beats favorite.
Sports event starts.
Jessica, can you handle the beeps? Whittingham,
I got it.
go sit in the penalty box.
Wow.
Because honestly, if you can't be excited by the way that ended, your sports fandom is damn near close to dead. Like, get out of here, go sit in the penalty box.
Rick Pitino wants to coach until he's 80. Is Rick Pitino the only one who doesn't know that Rick Pitino has been dead for many years?
Put it on the poll, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Is Rick Pitino the only one who doesn't know that Rick Pitino's been dead for many years?
St. John's offered him the
Of
contract. You
course.
see that? He's got to sign it in blood.
Yes, he's going to win another championship. He's going to win it.
Got to wait until nighttime.
None of us are going to see it. We're all going to be dead. But at nighttime, 600 years from now, Pitino's going to win a championship.
I mean, 80. You have 1,000 years to go just to get back to even. How does that work from there?
I don't know how you're doing the math on that.
Me neither. Death, taxes, and Arizona gagging all over March. After losing in the first round of the NCAA tournament, when asked about his future in coaching, Rick Pitino responded, I have no idea. That's cute, Rick. Even for a vampire. Novak, you want a solution? It's called a vaccine. It's amazing to me that one of tennis's greatest shot makers refuses to attempt one shot. The Joker. Has anyone found Mercedes Lewis?
Came in 5th at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Mercedes Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis
for him.
Hamilton for Mercedes.
Huh.
It's a good joke.
Where is he though?
Well, I think they need to resolve all
it
of
to
the
yourself.
things with
Just
Aaron
gave
Rodgers.
herself
Give
a
that to
Nick
yourself?
clap.
Top 5 athletes named after a car brand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Number 5, Cherokee Parks. Number 4.
That's the rare car, and then the last name's the verb of what the car does. That you're not going to find a lot of those.
I didn't realize that when I put it down. Very astute. Ruben Sierra. Number 3, Truck Robinson. Number 2, Jerome Bettis.
No,
Busted.
I know, but that truck's not his real name. It's not the
What do you
type of a
mean?
car. It's you're taking liberties.
Number 1, Andy Van Slyke. Van, Dan.
I think those last 3, man. That was a bad list.
I could have got Cadillac Williams. You're right. I didn't do it. I went with the bus.
TJ Ford.
You started off
TJ
really
Ford.
strong.
A lot
you're good
of
at this.
Fords. Whitey Ford's probably the Ford I would have went with. I mean, slightly better than TJ.
You went
Bronco Mendenhall.
Van.
Bronco Mendenhall.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that again at some point, but not now. Cherokee Parks.
Jane Honda.
Yes, of course.
Fuera.
You go sit in the penalty box.
What?
Jane Honda, not an athlete. Like, what are you doing? It's not her name.
When I found out Javon Curse was on my airplane, I've never felt safer. The freak. What's going to happen if the freak's on your airplane? Right?
you guys thinking that a plane can't go down because there's a celebrity on it is one of the weirdest.
It's Javon Curse.
I guarantee you the people on the flight with Nuke Rockney were like, oh, we're good, guys.
Clemente, Roberto Clemente as well.
When I found out Frank Gore was on that same flight, I feared the plane would only fly 3.5 yards at a time. Keeps landing.
All the way to Canton. 3.5
I had
yards
Frank
at a
Gore
time.
and Curse on the same plane. What a plane. Oh, boy. The Jets can't find Bakhtiari because he's hibernating for the winter. Where is that guy? Where's Mercedes Lewis?
He's not part of the
What are the
deal.
Jets doing?
Stugotz, why do you keep
Bakhtiari's always part of the deal, Dan.
He's not part
I
of the-
promise you.
Nobody said anything about him being on the wish list. Only you were putting him on the wish list.
It's an unwritten rule. I mean, they know. Wherever Aaron goes, Bakhtiari follows and protects him. That's how they roll. But he's hibernating. Dan, you know what the B in Bakhtiari stands for?
I do not.
Bear. Calvin Sampson doesn't age. He's still at it.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Were you surprised?
No, well, I mean, all these guys are still at it. Rick Pitino's still at it.
That's a good point.
Ichiro Suzuki.
That was also a good. He doesn't know what game
Oh,
you're playing.
man. Oh,
He was so
Suzuki.
confused by
I
it.
was thinking so long. Suzuki. Who can I go with? Man. I have to redo this list. Ichiro. Mick Cronin still wears a suit. He barely opens his mouth when talking to people on his bench. If Musselman takes his shirt off anywhere near Mick Cronin, I can't predict what will happen next. Are you excited for this?
There's someone is not going to survive. It's not just survive in advance. Someone will be
It's
dead.
gonna be Mark Few.
Someone will be dead at the end of all of that.
Mark Few.
That's a gauntlet Few is running through right there of coaches. Izzo too, you said?
Yep.
Izzo, Musselman, and Cronin.
Oh, my God.
Few won't survive that.
What a march. I didn't know FAU had a basketball program until Selection Sunday. They are a hoot to watch. It's like an NBA team. What? They're good. Brandon Cooks to the Cowboys. Nice little piece.
Why didn't they just keep Amari Cooper?
I don't know.
It's
more fun to get Cooks, though. I mean,
Is it?
I don't know.
Chestnut checkers, Dano.
Cooks is good. No one ever keeps him, but he's good.
Yeah, traded more than
I think
any
they are
NFL
getting
player.
him a little cheaper than Cooper's deal was. I
Barely.
think it was like 20 mil, and I think they're paying Cooks like 13
But
mil.
in draft picks, it was
Yeah.
about the same.
Adam Thielen to the Panthers. Things are starting to happen in Carolina, Dan. What do you mean? Traded for the first pick, Adam Thielen, Frank Reich. Things are starting to happen in Carolina.
They signed Hayden Hurst and Miles Sanders. Like, what is that?
Like I said. I didn't say
Amari
they were good
Cooper.
things.
Amari Cooper.
Carr.
That's correct.
Yep.
Stugotz.
Yeah. Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Chuck Pagani.
You go sit in the penalty box.
Oh, my God. Death, taxes, and Tom Izzo advancing to the Sweet 16. No market in America cares less about college basketball than South Florida, and yet we have 2 of the final 16 teams remaining.
I was on a plane on Friday night going up to New England where I had my MLS game,
Yeah.
and there was not a single person on the flight that was watching the Miami game. We were flying out of Fort Lauderdale. There was not a single person watching the Miami game.
Would you walk up the entire plane and check every
No,
TV?
I was
I've done that,
looking
though.
in front of me. But I was
Were you looking for someone else
it
to
was
high
late.
five or something?
Yeah, actually, I was. It was late in the game.
Excuse me, chaps?
Somebody,
Anyone watching?
somebody
Lads,
hit a big
anybody?
Lads?
three.
University of Miami?
Someone hit a big three,
So
and I
sad.
let out I did like a big fist pump
You
over
were the
my
only
seat,
one?
and I was like looking around. Is anyone? Anyone? No. Okay.
Embiid, Jokic, Embiid. I don't care who wins the MVP. Both of you, do it in the postseason. Seriously. People criticizing Jet fans, wanting them to act like they've been there before. Here's the problem. We've never been here before. We haven't. We wish this wasn't the highlight of our fandom, but it is.
It's weird.
I'm not going to apologize for it. Sister Jean taking some sort of credit for Princeton collision course. It's going to happen. Dusty May is having a march. Speaking of March, I told you so. Every Netflix show I watch either has someone neck deep in a lake or someone being lost in the woods. Every show I watch, every one of them. I mean, they get me every time. You stick a picture of someone who is neck deep in a lake going the wrong way, and I will watch you.
What does that mean?
I don't have any idea
Neck
what he's
deep
talking
going the
about.
wrong way?
Yeah, drowning.
I don't know what he's talking about. Like, I don't know any of the Netflix shows he's talking about.
So in the drowning, they're drowning down though. They're like above the water, but they're drowning.
You don't know if they're going to survive or they're going to keep going down. I mean, that's why you watch.
He's right. It's every episode of Outer Banks.
Yeah, she's
Whatever
right on
she
that one,
said.
yeah, Outer
Yes.
Banks. OBX.
That's the show I'm talking about. It's a good show.
We all know
Not
that
really.
we all know that all of our Netflix experiences are different, right? Stugotz gets more of these because he watches them.
Yes.
But
They
we're-
recommend them to me.
Yeah, we're all
Right.
algorithmically different.
Yeah. It's always a piece of clothing hanging off a branch in the woods somewhere. I mean,
That one I know what
Yeah.
you mean. That one I know what you mean. I'm in on that one.
and the feature film, like the feature of the day, nearly impossible not to watch. Little glimpse, cup of coffee. See if it's good. Hooks me in. Seth Greenberg said if Alabama gets past San Diego State, they'll win the national championship. But also said San Diego State will not be a cakewalk. And that, my friends, is covering all your bases. I want to say this will be Drew Timmy's last opportunity.
It's really not covering all your bases because they can get past San Diego State and then lose.
No, but he's saying that they're going to win, but it won't be a cakewalk.
I know, but they can get
Beat
past.
San Diego State and they win. The whole thing. Enchilada.
That's where they would meet.
Ball of wax.
That's where they would meet at the end.
Yes.
That's the only place they can meet.
It's the only 2 options, according to Seth Greenberg.
I don't think you have this right, though. I don't know that Alabama can play San Diego State for only the championship.
Well, he's saying that San Diego State are the only team that can give them a problem.
Correct.
And it won't be a cakewalk.
It won't be a cakewalk. But if they get past it, right.
National title.
Yeah, if they walk past the cake.
But there's other teams.
yes.
But they can then lose after that.
Seth is saying no, it's
Seth
over.
is saying
This
nobody
is
else
it.
can beat them. It's just San Diego State.
Only San Diego
They're
State.
the only team left
Tony
that can beat
Gwynn?
them.
No reason to watch the rest. I mean, this is the national championship game. I love March. Do you know if this is Drew Timmy's last opportunity?
I don't.
Does anyone?
Be playing until he's 30.
Oh, my God. Who would have ever thought that a guy named Gabe Plotkin would be an upgrade over Michael Jordan? As bad as Michael Jordan has been as an owner, LeBron will be worse. Soccer has its group of death. March Madness has its bracket of hell. Izzo, Cronin, and Musselman. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, those are the weekend observations.